Okay. Your next unit is Unit 5. And today we're going to start a little bit of it to get ready for next week and the week after. You guys don't have school on Mondays, so that's why I want to get some of this in today. In case you didn't know that, yes, you have no school Monday. Okay. The periodic table is what you all see here. You've likely seen it in science classrooms before, but at no point in your life will you be scrutinizing it more than this class. In this unit, I'm going to teach you how to read it, what different columns are called, what different rows are called, trends that you'll see, what types of elements, what the red letters mean, what the black letters mean, what the blue letters mean, what the white letters mean. All those things you're going to learn throughout this unit. So you're going to learn a lot of trends. But the first thing I need to teach you is how this was created in the first place. Like, it took a couple of 100 years to figure out how to organize it like this. Why is it like that? That's what you're going to get today and Tuesday. Okay, here we go. In the late 1700s, we're talking like American Revolutionary War kind of time. French scientist Antoine Lavoisier compiled a list of all known, keyword, elements at the time. Do you think in the 1700s there were more or less known elements back then? Yeah. Right now we have 118. Back then it was 33. Not a lot. And they were organized in the following categories. Now, there was a Disney movie that came out over the summer. You may have heard of it, called Elementals. Did you all at least hear of it? They didn't talk about all the different chemicals on the periodic table. They talked about like the four elements of nature. They had fire, water, air, and earth. Dirt. There was a movie in the 90s called The Fifth Element, where you had to combine all four elements, and they combined with this woman who represented the fifth element. She was like some sort of alien. But in the 1700s, these are what they were categorized as: gases, metals, non-metals, and earths. Things like, they categorize things like sand and quartz as being an element. You don't see sand and quartz up there today. So it was a rough start, but you got to get started somewhere. In the 1800s, the known amount of elements increased to 70. And this was by 1870. No coincidence, or it's just a coincidence. So by 1870, we had 70 new elements. And this was due to the invention of electricity. With electricity, you can do chemical reactions, and you can create elements from other elements. And so we jumped up from 33 to 70. This became a headache. You got to organize them. It's kind of like Pokemon. You got to organize them by fire type, and you got to organize them by ghost type or psychic. But what happens when you have a psychic fire type? Like, how do you organize that? What if you have a ghost water type? You got one Pokemon. If you guys know anything about that, there are some that are pure water or pure grass type or pure electric type, and then there's some that kind of blend in with two. Like, there's a water psychic type. How do you categorize all these now that there are so many of them? So, as I just alluded to, scientists were overwhelmed. By all the new data encompassing all the new elements. There's just too much of it. And it's not going to get any better because this was just 70. We have 118 now. So in 1860, scientists agreed on a method for accurately determining the mass of elements. And this is going to help them categorize them. But this also had its own problems. And I want to give you guys an example here. Here's something that still bothers me to this day. If I say, can you, how do I want to phrase this? Can you turn up the air conditioning? Can you turn up the air conditioning? Does that mean make it hotter or make it colder? Nella, what does that mean to you? If I say, if we're living in the same house, and I say, can you turn up the air conditioning? What does that mean? Make it hotter or colder? Yeah. Like it's set. All right, imagine this. Look. It's set at 74 degrees in the house. If I say, Nella, can you turn up the air conditioning? What does that mean to you? So does that number go up or down? Okay, she says go up. Anybody else think it goes down? See, this is what I mean. Varun says, okay, when I say, or Varun thinks when he hears turn up the air conditioning, you're going to make it colder. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what led to, if he does things his way and Nella does things her way, you're not going to be speaking the same language. You're going to have a difference in opinion. So if Nella and Varun were like siblings and Nella says, hey, Varun, can you turn up the air conditioning? He's going to make it colder. And she's going to be like, oh my God, I told you to turn it up. And Varun says, I did. No, it's too cold. Turn it up. I did. He thinks that means make it colder. You think that means make it warmer. There's a problem. There's a disconnect. And so that is what I'm getting to with this. Different scientists calculated masses in different ways, which has screwed up everything. Different scientists calculated masses in different ways, which made data more confusing. I mean, imagine if Varun measured our age by months and Nella measures her age and everyone's age by years. Nella says, hello, Varun, how old are you? I am 260. And Varun says, how old are you? She goes, I'm 16. Huh? Like he's measuring in months. She's measuring in years. There's a disconnect. So you got to get everybody speaking the same language. You know, in the metric system, the whole world uses the metric system, you know, except for us. Like 5 countries don't use it. We're one of them. But it's a way for the whole world to agree upon measuring something. If you go to Brazil, kilometers. If you go to France, kilometers. If you go to Canada, kilometers. You go to one of the exceptions, us, miles. Things are different. So you got to try to get everybody on board. So the first guy I want to show you is this dead fella. What? He's dead. This is John Newlands. He decided to organize elements by increasing atomic mass. he noticed their properties repeated every 8th element. So he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, start over. And he realized all the elements that were designated as ones had common characteristics. All the elements that were designated as sevens had common characteristics. All the elements that had eights had common characteristics. So let me give you guys an example. What do all the elements in the 18th column have in common? They're all stable. He's starting to notice there's a trend, and that's where we got the word periodic. The trend was periodic. Periodic means it's happening every X amount of turns. You know, you guys periodically go to the bathroom during school. You periodically maybe chew gum during the school day. Newlands called the periodic trend the law of octaves. And no one really bought into it because he got the law of octaves from music. And a bunch of scientists saying, you named this after music? What an idiot. He knows nothing. And so he really didn't have this idea accepted. Just because of the way he named it. The law didn't apply to all known elements. And it wasn't accepted. Plus the fact he named it after something musical, and so all of his colleagues and his peers thought that was stupid. And so they didn't want to believe it. And so they rejected it. So the last little bit, and this will be it for today.
Please pardon the interruption. Plant High School, the patio will be closed for lunches. 5th period students are to go to the auditorium or the cafeteria. 6th period students are to go to the gym or the cafeteria. South Hall boys restrooms are closed. Students are to use the main hall bathroom. Go Team Plant and have a fantastic Thursday.
It took years for his observed trend of periodic trends to be accepted. And eventually did get accepted. It took a while. It kind of like is with Democritus and Aristotle. It took a while for it to be accepted, but it was. We will stop there. We will have to continue that on Tuesday.